Good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for May 24th, 2023. Start with the Alcoa 30-minute standard time frame for the hybrid swing. So Alcoa, we resumed the short and cashed it at the edge of the dragon in the usual way after the R10 had bottomed out, and that gave us +2 and no overnight risk. AI, we initiated the Kata 2 long. Caterpillar initiated collapsing dragon short, holding +1. Cliff initiated the short after the big gap down and started dropping like a rock, and we were already below the collapsing dragon and had left all of this behind. So that was a instantaneous short, and we're holding we're holding +2, and it feels like there's more coming. CVS initiated the Kata 2 short. Dish Network, big gap, took the short. It failed to fail further. It could not get below this support level here. And so after about 3 hours of slight upward grinding after the initial sell-off, we took the exit right at the edge of the dragon and made made about 0.5. Again, those are always with the standard response. Devon Energy, yesterday's short on the PSAR flip, failed to fail further, so we took half an hour gain early. Initiated Electronic Arts on the Kata 2 PSAR flip. Emerging markets, this was the biggie of the day. So yesterday's had the big gap down and then rolled over, so we got short with the standard risk. It just got smashed to here, and then today it gapped down further, so we added the second position, and it continued to drop like a rock and closed all the way down here. So on the first position, we're holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the first one and 2 on the second one. So we're at +7R on 2 positions, and it's still just outside the Red River. This could easily roll over and fail more tomorrow. So I like that one a lot. ETHE, no trade. Mexico, we had 2 positions on that one. We added that second one in the same way we added on emerging markets, and it closed poorly, but today there was a gap up to here. So we took the 1R loss on the second one and then kept 2, 3, 4 on the first one, so net 3. And then no risk overnight. And this actually feels like it's trying to set up for a little Kata 2. So if we get any kind of price action north of 59.71 or even 60, then that's going to be an automatic long. Mexico, yesterday we got the gift of +1. There was really nothing compelling today, so no trade. Intel, we took the gap down and sell off, and then held it as long as I could, but when it refused to fail further, then I just took it at the PSAR flip and cashed +1. IP, heard that we were gonna replace it, so it gapped down, so we sold short. After the gap and the breakdown through the PSAR, so standard risk box, it sold off harshly and then closed poorly, so that is holding a little over +1, call it 1.5, and the last little bit of the move was weak, so I elected to hold that one overnight. IYR, we got 2 positions into that, and it started to stabilize. So we just took the, since we had already had 1 position short from here, so we added the second one and then the third one on the collapse. I just couldn't take it anymore, so we got out of the whole thing at 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 on the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 on the second one, and 2 on the third one for 14R, 2-day trade, no overnight risk, and ready to reinitiate if it fails tomorrow. So we'll take that one. KRE, it gap down short, and then it just sideways channeled. So get out of it at 0.5, no overnight risk. No trade in McDonald's, no trade in Merck. Both are stabilizing. So we added Microsoft, and just to get it going, we took the short and cashed one just to get our feet wet. The other one we added was NVIDIA. Took the SSC PSAR flip long, holding about +1 overnight. That's the other new one we added. Marijuana PSAR flip, caught a 2, holding +1. Clean energy, PBW. So this one was that harsh gap down. Couldn't find an entry on it. It was span of control. And then all it did was just continue to grind higher. And this crossed over into the spring. And this felt like it was at a support level where in the past it had had a nice run up. So we took that one on a speculation. And we'll see how that one works tomorrow. I mean, it's not like the other ones are not speculative either, I mean, to be honest. Here is Rivian on the COTA 2. I took the standard risk box really mapped to the bottom of the dragon, and that feels all right. And then it closed really well, so we're holding +1. It has to get through the peak of the R10 to really be any good tomorrow, so that will be the question tomorrow. Can it get across that gap and keep going? If so, looks all good. Treasuries, nothing. Ended up taking a micro gain on it. There was no follow through. Tesla, man, I wanted to take this so bad. Golly. That was the gap sell off and then ground hard to here to close the gap. And I just couldn't pull the trigger, so it ended up right about here. We'll see tomorrow, but no trade and no overnight risk. U.S. Steel. This was a gap down and sell off, so short here, standard risk. Refused to fail further, so we took the +1, no overnight risk. So felt pretty good. Yeah, NVIDIA's up large on some news in about their partnership with Microsoft for next generation AI specialty chips. That's the winning position. And that one should explode tomorrow. So 24%. That could be up 24%. Holy smokes, what's that look like? Post-market, NVIDIA. Yeah, holy mackerel. That thing's up at 380 in the aftermarket. That thing, that'll turn out to be the trade of the year. That thing gapped that far in the afternoon, or in the aftermarket trade. So that's up at the red line right now. That's going to be a pretty good trade if that holds. Plus $80. Man, talk about good things happening to bad people. Holy smokes. The wrist box in that thing is about $6, $5. So that's about a +20R gap. We'll take that. Don't deserve it, but we will cash it.
Yeah, my buddy Mike called me today as I was driving to one of my visits, and he's like, "Holy crap, dude! Tell me your brother got into that." I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure he did."
Well, there you are.
There you are.
Do?
Rather be lucky than good, although
That's right,
being
all
good
the
is
time.
good too.
Yeah, the more I prepare, the luckier I get. That seems to be the case. Let's see. So here's a sniper trade of the day. So this is Alcoa, and this is on the 3 minute. So here was the close, here was the gap, there's the OR3. That's the mechanical long. That is the mechanical short. It sold off to here, rose up, and then failed. So we're short from here with a risk box of right there and a standard exit at the PSAR for about +1. So 1 unit of risk, 1 unit of reward, it's about +1. Stop and reverse. No lose plus dinner for 2. Reverse at the PSAR flip. And then after 3 p.m., I just couldn't stand it anymore. That's about 1.5. So that works in at about 3 for the day in Alcoa. That's about 1. That's about 0.3. This is about 1.7. Call it 3. Yeah, that Nvidia closed was at no Nvidia closed at 305, Bill, and it's at 380. That's plus $80. Yeah. So we like that one. All right, let's look at the traders. Well, this is Constantine. He does the same trades every day. He has found his niche. It's a fake above the EU session high, and then the sell off, and he just fades that and brings home 4. Lather, rinse, repeat. Here's Eugene on the OR3 bringing home net 3.8. It's the gap up and roll over, short, short, short cover, short and quick out, 3.8. On Wheaton, this is Tim finding his mojo here. There's the OR3 short and get paid. Re-entry is key to sanity. Gets paid. Considered this, but because of the strength of the move down and below the VWAP, he waits. He gets short at the PSAR flip, gets paid. 2.2. Nicely done. This is Eugene work in progress. Now he's working on a strategy with my brother for the 9-day, 3-day, 30-minute swing. So, there's the 9, the 3, and then the 30-minute in order to start optimizing his entries over in here, and then using this one as the mainframe to frame out a support level at what used to be resistance. But there was a lot of buying pressure came in here. So now when it pulls back and shows some signs of stability, yeah, that's what he's looking at. That is the use of a multi-time frame in the classic, truest, best sense of the word. Here is a 9-3 swing, they're calling it, on Meta. And he's using the 30-minute bars to enter at the 3-day high and crushing that. I mean, holy smokes. That's about a 20-day trade with very little stress, which is okay. Yeah, Microsoft is crushing it too. So what a perfect day to add those two to the list. Huh? Again, better to be lucky than good. Um, Tim also plays the Alcoa short for 2.4, a micro win and a micro loss for 4, and out trades me on my favorite symbol. Keep doing that. Red was up at one point, 2.2 on this one, and then a micro loss. Didn't get filled on his entries in here, is what it looks like to me. Um, yeah, so turned a promising day into like a scratch or a flat day. So that'll happen some days. Damien back to his ways here. Gap down, sell off, peak. It couldn't get through the dragon and rolled over. And when the R10 rolls over, he gets short. Standard risk. Covers at +1. Re-enters on the breakdown of the collapsing dragon. Gains +1. A little late on this one. I think I like to get short here, but this is truly a collapsing dragon. Then this is a late exit. We should be getting out somewhere around like the spine of the dragon. Then we can be long here, and then we shouldn't let that go to negative. We should be able to make something out of that, and then regains the winning ways. Total for the day 1.1. Facing the nervousness and doing a fine job. All right, here's Hamad on Alcoa. This is on the 10s. So if you're on the 10s, then you got to take that sooner, like right here. You got to know what your risk box is on this thing. Notice how narrow the river is. When there's no directional moves, you can measure the river from width to width, and you can actually use that as your risk box. And then you could be short here instead of here. And then on this move, you're holding +2, so you should be able to come out of that with better than a scratch. This is a reasonable effort. When this doesn't work, I'm out right here. And I'm probably short there. And now it doesn't pay off, but I don't stick around that long when the trend is down and I'm on the wrong side of the trend and then waiting to get punished. That just feels harsh. Apple, I like the short. I like the exit better here. So that's a much more manageable exit. Now this feels like a fake 1, go 2. And on this one, when it's near the Z3 on the fake 1, you can take a 1, 2, 3 entry right here, and you'd actually get paid inside there. But this still pays off for 1.4, net 1.2. And patience is rewarded. You don't have to make it harder than it is. Here was the collapsing dragon. He notices now in retrospect. So this is good self-coaching, because maybe you don't see that in the moment, but afterwards you now are alerted to say, oh, failure to follow through is information. A couple of good quick scratches nets out to 0 pretty much for the day on that one. And then finally gets a paycheck in Tesla here. I think you could get long here instead of waiting the extra bar, and then that brings it to a scratch day. Let's see here. Still not showing. Okay. All right. I'm having one spreadsheet that's slow to recalc, so we're gonna just hit a couple of the highlights from the daily report. Looking at today's work, this will be by exception here, right? So here's the cut line between the winners and the losers of the day. So most everything failed today. Um, Mexico, marijuana, Devon Energy, Apple, all on the plus side. The S&P was down 0.7. Treasuries and tech were a little better, only off 0.5%. Emerging markets, diamonds, and then the Russell were off much larger. Tesla got punched in the face. Texas Instruments, Intel, U.S. Steel were the weak ones out of our typical players. Nvidia was better than the market and better than tech, and then we know that it just went up 25% overnight. So well done. And Microsoft up large after too. So they're going to own the world. Those two. Here is. Yeah, I think that's enough. I'm going to get the report printed and sent off to you. The yeah, Eugene asked me about soybean looking. Yeah, soybeans they have a narrow, it's a narrow market. The people that buy it when they don't want to buy, then there's nothing there and there's no fills. So I mean that's such a specialty thing that I really think you should be in the futures rather than trying to trade the derivative ETF on that. To me, um, the moves are there, but you got to be in the futures, I think, to get them. All right, that's everything we got for today. We'll get the report finished up and sent off to you for the Godzillas. But to me, the news is AI, Nvidia, Microsoft, AI, and be ready to exploit that tomorrow with a fresh set of eyes. Okay. All right. Take good care, guys. We shall see you tomorrow.